Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sunday Night Stories with Skaaro the Red. And tonight we're continuing the ridiculous Ballad of Skaaro the Red, and we'll be giving you Chapter 5 tonight. Well, I do a little bit of running around here, doing a couple of little quests here and there to fill in some time, keeping with our pirate theme here. We're up in Pirate Skyhold. Even got my little peg leg going on. So, remember, if you're enjoying our stories, like, upvote, comment, share. I also upload on, as well as streaming on Twitch, on twitch.tv/Skaaro the Red. I also have a YouTube channel where I upload my videos. You can just search Skaaro the Red or the Ridiculous Ballad of Skaaro, and it's pretty easy to find. I usually link them up in my Reddit posts as well, and I also upload on SoundCloud for if you just want to hear the audio, if you're on the go or what have you, and want to listen in. So, without any further ado, let's begin Chapter 5. The explosion tore a huge hole in the ship's main hull. Anticipating the situation, Skaaro was already back on his feet and heading towards the lower decks to begin helping repairing the damage before the ship sunk. As Skaaro raced below deck, he could hear the rush of the water from behind the main hold. Then, Toothless Pete ran up to him. "Oh, thank Tymora you're here," he exclaimed. "We need to haul the boards up to the quarterdeck, then someone has to hang over the side of the ship and patch the damage to our hull from the outside, before we take on any more water than we already have." Skaaro grabbed as many timbers as he could carry and headed up above deck. The crew was already rigging up a long rope through a series of rings mounted on the deck. Orvallo was directing the preparations. "Skaaro!" Orvallo exclaimed. "Just the fella I hope to see. I hope you're here to volunteer to repair the outer hull." Skaaro looked over the railing and considered a moment, and then said, I can get the job done." "Wonderful," Orvallo replied. "There's not a moment to spare. Get the rope and tie it around Skaaro like a harness," he ordered. Several crewmen tied the rope around Skaaro as instructed. "You'll need to go down over here," Orvallo said, pointing out the damaged area. Skaaro approached him, and Orvallo checked his harness as he continued to explain the plan. "We'll lower you down, nice and slow, and then we'll lower the timbers down with another rope. You'll need to go below water and patch the hull." Orvallo handed Skaaro a hammer and a small leather pouch filled with nails. "No problem," Skaaro replied. "Underwater repairs are my specialty." Several crewmen held the rope tight as Skaaro climbed over the railing, and the crewmen slowly lowered him down to the damaged area of the ship. Once Skaaro was in position, another group of crewmen lowered bundles of lumber down with another rope. Taking the boards one at a time, Skaaro was lowered beneath the cold water. Under the water it was dark and difficult to see, but Skaaro was able to feel along the side of the ship until he found the damaged area of the hull. Skaaro also noticed he still had no trouble breathing water, so he began nailing the boards into place over the ruptured areas. After each board was nailed into place, Skaaro would swim back to the surface and retrieve another board. It took quite some time for Skaaro to complete the repairs, but after countless dives and dozens of patches, Skaaro finally repaired the hull and stopped the flow of water into the ship. Skaaro signaled the crew with 3 tugs of the rope. "Hold me up," he shouted, and the crew slowly pulled Skaaro back up the side of the ship to the deck. Skaaro climbed back over the railing, and Orvallo was waiting for him with a warm blanket and a mug of ale. "You did it! You did it!" Orvallo said excitedly. "I knew if anybody could pull it off it would be you, Skaaro." Skaaro chuckled and said, "Oh, it was nothing." Then Captain Windblade approached them. "Skaaro," she said, "today you saved the Golden Falcon from the depths of the sea, and we all owe you a debt of gratitude." "Look," Skaaro said, "you saved me from the same fate when you found me adrift in the sea, so it's the least I can do, and I would do it again a dozen times over, too." "The rest of the crew are busy draining the water from our holds," Orvallo said to the captain, "but we still need to assess the damages. Although the bulkhead's held together, there is a lot of flooding down there." Captain Windblade nodded. "Yes, as soon as the water's gone, I want a full report done right away," she replied. Just then, Toothless Pete joined the group. The crew are steady draining water from the holds, he reported. Then, 2 crewmen arrived, rolling out a barrel of ale. And I brought a little something for our hero of the day. Consider it a wee bit of gratitude on behalf of the crew of the Golden Falcon. Everyone filled their mugs and celebrated. Throughout the rest of the evening, the group drank ale, told tall tales, and sang songs. Skaaro learned many a pirate sea shanty that evening. The crew worked in shifts all through the night to drain the ship. The next morning, Skaaro awoke to angry shouting. Although somewhat hungover from the night before, Skaaro rolled out of his bunk, got dressed, and followed the shouting voices up to the main deck. On the deck, the crew were engaged in a bitter argument with each other. Skaaro spotted Orvalo on the quarterdeck with Captain Windblade. She stood with her sword drawn, shouting, "Whoever took the loot had better return it now, or I'll slice all your necks." Skaaro pushed his way through the crowd of angry crewmen until he was able to make his way to the quarterdeck. "What's going on?" he asked Orvalo. "Well, this morning I went to take inventory of the hold and assess the damages to the ship. But it appears that some of the loot from our recent raiding is missing." "You think someone took it?" Skaaro asked. "It would seem that way. During all the chaos yesterday, it would have been easy for someone to help themselves to the treasure." "Could it have been lost some other way, maybe?" Skaaro inquired. "It's very unlikely it was simply lost. Whoever took the loot took some of the best things. It must still be on the ship somewhere, though." While Skaaro and Orvalo discussed the missing treasure, tempers began to flare among the Golden Falcon's crew. Crewmen began accusing one another. Meanwhile, Captain Windblade continued shouting threats at the crowd, demanding the thief come forward. Even Orvalo tried to calm the crowd by promising a reward for whoever finds the treasure, but it was to little avail. Then, suddenly, one of the crewmen punched another, knocking him to the ground. "How dare you accuse me of stealing from me own mates," he says. "Where were you when the treasure went missing?" Then the entire crowd erupted into a brawl. Skaaro, Orvalo, and Captain Windblade looked on helplessly from the quarterdeck as the crew of the Golden Falcon tore into one another.
And that's all for Chapter 5. It seems the crew of the Golden Falcon left us with another cliffhanger here. Locked into a deadly argument over some missing treasure. Tune in next week for another Sunday night story with Skaaro the Red to find out what happens, who took the treasure, and what other surprises Chapter 6 will have in store for us. So every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's on twitch.tv/Skaaro the Red. And like I said, I also upload all of this to YouTube and SoundCloud. So pick whatever medium works best for you. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next Sunday.